Hello, Drew here from Pella Cars. Super excited to bring you guys this beautiful 2009 Honda Accord LX all the way from Connecticut. It's extremely clean because it hasn't been in Rochester. This is one of the Hondas from the days when if you bought one and took care of it, it just lasted and lasted and lasted. But of course, in Rochester they can rust out. But this one has not been here, so it's extremely clean underneath, and we're going to look at that as we walk around the vehicle. It has 120,212 miles on it, and it's extremely clean. I could almost use the word perfect inside and well above average outside. It is a black vehicle, and as the owner of a black truck, my wife drives a black truck. They're usually not clean enough to notice the flaws that jump out when they're perfectly washed because they get dirty as soon as you leave the car wash. But, there's definitely some cosmetic flaws on this that are going to pop out a little bit more at you because it's black. If this was a silver car, I'd say the exterior is almost perfect as well as the interior. But again, it does have those cosmetic flaws, which I'm going to do my best to point out to you. We want to make sure that our online buyers aren't disappointed when the car shows up. And of course, those who still come in and test drive, we would love to meet you, so please definitely set up a test drive if you're local. We don't want you to be disappointed when we get here because we know that photos don't always show everything. So we'll start up front. The seemingly perfect looking hood, as you see when we get up to it, is not. It's got a bunch of stone chips, and the very face of it, it's faded. There's also something going on. It looks like at some point in its life, maybe it had some scratches here because there's some almost like swirl marks from a buffer that have since gone away, but the ghost of them, by ghost I mean it's not physical, but it's like kind of there, I guess. Something like they've been almost worn away by weathering, but they're not there anymore. You can kind of see like right there. The front bumper has a little bit of drama. I would say certainly still not a below average vehicle, but definitely average for the age. Right here, you could tell they hit something. There was a light crack here and a little dent here, and it's very stone chipped right here. And whatever they did kind of messed up the connection between the bumper and the fender right here. But that is the extent of it. This fender has a little dent that, again, this goes back to like a white or silver car. You wouldn't even notice that, but it's got a little dent right here that you could only really see if, there you go, you could see it with my hand. But, of course, this is why we do videos, because you wouldn't see that in a picture, which would be from like there, right? There's a lot of indicators on this car that it's been extremely well taken care of. And I actually just bought our family vehicle, and it's the same thing. I look for cars that have like Michelin tires. This is the most expensive tire that you can buy for this car, and there's plenty of very, very cheap options. But somebody spent the extra money, and not that long ago, these have about 75-80% of their tread left. They spent the money on the most expensive tires, and they're evenly worn, which means they've always rotated them, and the car has a good alignment. So a lot of good information from the tires. The brakes are in excellent shape as well. The suspension is good and tight. So like on the side here, going back to, again, black cars show everything, even me. Hello there. There's some dents that would show on any color car. There's some dents on the bottom there. They might have bumped a curb or something, not sure, but there's some dents. But on the side here, you can see that scratch, kind of like right where my ankles are. Scratch there, scratches. That's the kind of stuff that, once this car has a day's worth of dust, or, it rains and it has some road grime on it or whatever, that stuff doesn't show up. But on a freshly washed black car, absolutely. So there's a scuff in the back there. You'll notice, by the way, if you've been shopping for these cars, right there and right there is where they just rust out completely. And by this time in Rochester, some of them have rusted like past this line all the way up into here. But again, I'll show you underneath it. We'll show you from multiple angles. It's not a Florida car under there, but a Connecticut car is extremely clean because being much closer to the ocean, they don't get nearly the snow that we get. They get way more sunshine. A winter day there, maybe it's 35 and sunny when it's 27 here and just gray and wet, which, yeah, be very nice to have. The back is in great shape. There's some scratches on the trunk, very light scratches. I mean, some of these might actually buff out. But again, a day's worth of driving, and those won't even show up. That's the downside of a black vehicle, is when it's perfectly clean, it looks worse, right? Some cracks in the clear coat on the back bumper, and a scratch, a pretty good one. Not deep, might buff off, but maybe they backed into something lately here. Some scratches here, and on this side, not as much. This, I'm not sure what that is. That looks like that'll definitely come off. That's something that's, well, there's a little scratch in it, if you see right there. So this rubbed up against something, and that's like white paint from whatever it rubbed up against. And then right where my nail is hitting, that's a scratch in it. There's a little chip here that's been touched up. Again, Michelin tires with the vast majority of their tread left. This is a good place to show you guys underneath, like, there's photos of this too, but like the brake lines and all that. This looks like a Rochester car. This is a 2009. A Rochester car wouldn't be that clean by 2011. Not much damage to speak of on this side, just some light scratching here. Again, things that I wouldn't even bother pointing out on a silver car because I probably wouldn't see them. Roof is in great condition. All the glass, it's the original windshield. It's never been replaced. Glass is in great shape. Inside, again, this car is as close to perfect as you're gonna find in a 2009 with 120 on it. I mean, the seats, there's one little stain on the driver's seat right there, which is, I might still be able to get off at a quick attempt. It was like gum or something, which is strange because the car doesn't really seem like it's been eaten in. It's definitely not been smoked in. Headliner does have a little scuff back there, which I'll show you. There's like one stain in the floor mat and a little bit of wear from the heel. These floor mats were replaced. It's a good time to take a break and show you inside the trunk. These floor mats were replaced and they left a couple extras. A massive, massive indicator of somebody that loved their car. I mean, those are like $120 from the Honda dealership, and they're not aftermarket, they're genuine Honda. But yeah, so absolutely wonderful condition. Door, armrest, all of it, just the switches, everything in great shape. Steering wheel has like no wear on it, which is very unusual for a car that's been in the sun, you know, for 15 years. Dashboard's in incredible shape. The R for reverse, it's chipped right there, which I'm having a focus issue. There we go. So little chip right there, but you know, otherwise perfect. Just a couple light scuffs here and there on the headliner, which is surprising because again, the carpet and the you know, seats themselves are just about perfect. The center console had a stain right there that didn't come all the way out. Not sure if you could see that right there. Passenger seat is just absolutely perfect. Passenger floor, perfect. And you know, this is probably the last Accord that was made to this quality. I mean, the carpet is like really thick in these cars. Absolutely wonderful. This door skin too, by the way. Little scratch right there, which might be able to be rubbed out. Great shape. In the back, there are a couple marks. There's this mark here, and I'm just seeing this one. Oh, that's, there you go. Not a mark, but just the nap of the fabric was messed up. Couple scuffs on the back of the seat there. Carpets, again, I don't know which ones are new and which ones are original and just really clean, but absolutely wonderful shape. And again, those scuffs on the headliner, the back seat, the back of the back seat, looks like it's never even been used. Just absolutely wonderful car. I'll show you guys under the hood, and then we'll take a drive. Oh, maybe underneath again as well. See, there you go. So that's the frame rail. Just absolutely wonderful to still see black paint on it instead of all just crusty rust falling off. Very, very clean. The engine, these Accords, sometimes when you start them cold after sitting, they rattle. This one does not, which means it's had its oil changed. It did come, what I would guess is about halfway through an oil change. It was not low, and it was not excessively dirty. Again, that's just a guess. I have no way of knowing, but the oil has been changed. We send every car out with a full synthetic oil change and a new filter manufactured by Wix. It's got the correct coolant in it. Just everything here, a Napa battery, which is very expensive compared to the cheap stuff. Everything points towards a just very well taken care of car, and it drives beautifully. These, I think what makes these so nice is they have a 5-speed automatic transmission, but it's particularly well controlled. So it knows exactly when to shift, electronically controlled. Just a very, very nice driving car. The best engine is no fun at all with a cruddy transmission. Kind of like, you know, a high performance 283 with a 2-speed power glide behind it is not nearly as fun as a 5-speed manual. Same idea. This Accord has an absolutely wonderful automatic transmission. And even with only a 2.4 liter, yes, it's the legendary K24, but as you see, it just picks up very well. With a relatively small engine, picks up great. There's no need, even with 4 adults in this car, there's no need for the V6, which is a rocket ship, by the way, if you get one. But we're already going highway speeds. It didn't have to wind up the engine. It wasn't dramatic. I'm gonna get out. Let me see. I'll straighten out here. Take my hand off the wheel. As you see, we're going. Let me see. Straighten up again. There we go. So very hard on the brakes. No pulling, no shaking, no shimmying. Very, very smooth car. I've personally had this car up to over 75 miles per hour, and it's just very, very smooth. More so than, I believe, it's a bit of a tighter ride, but it has more of a stable feel at those higher highway speeds than a comparable Camry from 2009. I'm more of a Toyota fan myself than Honda. We've owned Hondas, we've owned Toyotas. This Accord, I think, is just a little bit ahead of the Camry of the same year. It has a little bit more rear legroom. It's classified as a full-size sedan, not a mid-size. And again, that particular transmission is just absolutely wonderful and makes really good use of the 4-cylinder engine that's in this on the highway. And the suspension, again, is tuned a little bit firmer than the Camry, but it's much more stable at highway speeds. So just an absolutely perfect car. So again, I'm Drew. Really appreciate your time. If you want to buy this car, you can do so through the website, www.pellacars.com. Again, we'd love to meet you in person to set up your to set up your test drive. You could also go through the website or just call me. My name's Drew, 585-771-0111. And yes, we can ship this car anywhere. You could use either method of communication to get that started if you would like to. And if this video was informative or entertaining in any way outside of shopping for this particular car and you want to, we'd be very appreciative of a like on the video, and you could subscribe to this channel if you want to see more videos like it. So again, thank you for your time, and hope to talk to you soon. Thank you. Bye-bye.